Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. We're going to talk about the names. We're going to talk about first trimester and a recap of the videos I posted because technically this is the first live video. Well, basically, the internets know, like the world knows that we are pregnant with twins, and all the previous videos were recorded during my journey. So I'm so excited. Everybody knows about the twins. And if you don't know, I'm having twin girls, and their names are Mila and Marley. So we had Mila's name back when I guess we didn't know if we were having a boy or girl. So when we had Maverick, I already knew that the girl's name was going to be Mila. So Mila has been around for a minute. We always knew if I had a girl, her name was going to be Mila. Of course, we find out that we're having two girls and we need to come up with another M name because that is the tradition in our family. We have M names. So, of course, my brother and sister are M names. And it's perfect because Chris's mom and her siblings are all M names. So I was like, cool, we don't have to have this discussion like you used to it. Like it's all M names. And so we came up with Marley. I was just looking at a list of M names, and Marley was pretty much the only name that I liked. And of course, Marilyn, the other name for my brother's second child, it was either Marley or Marilyn. And I did like Marley, but of course, she's such a Marilyn. So that's another way that that name came up. So I asked Chris, I was like, Marley, and he's just like, oh, okay. And then that night we were watching TV and Marley and Me came on the TV, and I was like, Chris, it's a sign. We have to name this baby Marley. He's just like, okay, calm down, which Chris says to me a lot of the times. But, anyways, and so probably 2 days later, he was like, okay, he was feeling Marley. So we have Mila and Marley and their middle names. So having a Japanese middle name is super important to me because Chris' side of the family is Japanese, and I wanted to honor that side of him because Chris is a lot. He has a lot of Japanese heritage running through him, and he just doesn't realize it. I know that was one of the first things I realized when I met him. I was like, oh, you're Japanese. And so when we had Maverick, his middle name is Yukio, which is Chris's great uncle's name. And when he went to Japan when he was like 12 or so, I believe they stayed with Yukio, and like Yukio's personality, these are stories out here. Yukio's personality is more of like fun and funny. So I loved it. And Yukio was handsome. I have a picture of him. So we name Maverick's middle name is Yukio, and it means firstborn. And so then when we found out that we were pregnant and I just knew it was going to be a girl, Chris came up with Emiko for Mila's middle name, and I loved it. I was like, bet. He texted to me. I was like, cool. We don't have to do any, or I don't have to do any more research. Like, Mila's middle name is Miko. And then we found out that we're having two girls. So now I have to come up with another Japanese middle name, which is really hard. Because I'm like looking up these names, I can halfway pronounce them. Like, yeah. And so it took us a while to come up with Marley's middle name. For a while, she did not have one. And I asked Miss Margarita, Chris's mom, like, do you have any suggestions? I need help. Like, I do not have a middle name for Marley. And so she's like, let me send out a message to my sisters and we'll figure this thing out. So she sends me a text message, and it's like, because it's only, the grandma is it's the only one girl, and then they all have brothers. And so we were trying to figure out like, um, wives' names and all of that stuff like that. So she texted me and goes, Yukio wife name was, I can't even pronounce it. And he had two girls. And one of the girls' name was Hiroko. And I loved it. So Marley's middle name is Hiroko, which is Yukio's daughter's name. I just It's all in the family. I love it. So the meanings. So Miko means blessed child. And then Marley, Hiroko means prosperous child. So I have a blessed child and a prosperous child. If these girls was not given from God, like blessed and prosperous, and like in my old, well, not my old video, but my other video, when I say their names, I say he provided the promise in the overflow. Blessed and prosperous, it's all connected. I just love their names. Okay, so now let's talk about my first trimester. Whew, it was a hard one. First of all, I lost 12 pounds during my first trimester. So it was so funny when I would go out in public. People would be like, girl, you are losing weight. You look so good. Your face is so skinny. And I'm like, I'm pregnant with twins. But yes, morning sickness was on 10. And I didn't have morning sickness with Maverick. So I didn't know what to expect. And it's real. If you are dealing with any type of woman who is pregnant, it's her first trimester, and she says that she's going through morning sickness, like she needs to be sent home. If you're a boss, like it is serious. So basically what I would eat in a day would be a 1/2 of a pickle, like just half of it. I would eat 1 cracker, and I would drink a chocolate Ensure for the entire day. That's the only thing I can eat for 3 weeks. It was that bad. And of course, I would try my best to drink water, but that was a struggle. So hence why I lost 12 pounds real quick, and I looked my skinniest while I was pregnant with these twins. And then, of course, I would throw up everything. So I ordered these morning sickness things from Amazon. They did not work. The only thing that worked was these ginger chewies that Miss Margarita gave me, and they were the best. So I swear by them. This is the only thing that saved my life. So after having 3 weeks of intense morning sickness, y'all, I got a cold. I got a whole cold for a whole week. So appetite was gone. Of course, they made me take a test to find out if it was COVID. Everything's like COVID related now. But being pregnant and having COVID is no joke. So, of course, we took a test. It wasn't COVID. I've never been so happy to find out like you were just regular sick. I was like, oh, I'm just regular sick. Yes. But anyways, that cold was terrible. I remember just praying to God, like, please, please remove this from me. I don't know what you want me to do, but I do not want to be sick no more. So that was a week of feeling like my worst. So that was my first trimester. It wasn't the best trimester at all. Yeah, I stayed in the house. That's why when we finally made the announcement, felt like I felt well enough. And now that everybody knows, I can finally like get out into the world. But I missed a lot of stuff, not because I was pregnant, because I was just so sick. It was terrible. If I would go somewhere, I would be in the restroom throwing up like clockwork. So I just stay home. Oh yeah, I ordered these like barf bags, because if I left the house, I was going to throw up in the car or anywhere. It was bad. Okay, so I don't want to make this video too long, but last but not least, a reaction to the videos I posted. So I was trying to explain to people that I recorded those videos, that 4-part series. I recorded that in the beginning of the year. So I recorded and edited, and I just had them. And then once we found out that we were pregnant, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and release them. So I never really rewatched the videos. I just uploaded them to YouTube and scheduled them all out for Wednesdays, because I post on Wednesdays. If you want me to post more, let me know. I'm trying to figure that out. But anyways, so when people would text me and call me. I was shocked at the reaction like people had. I don't know. It was such a weird feeling. And I remember calling my sister because I didn't realize how much crying I did on those videos. Like I cried a lot, and that was something a lot of people said. Like, Miracle, I've never seen you cry this much, and I was like, I know, I am truly a crier. I feel like don't hide your emotions, just cry it out. But anyways, I got so many encouraging messages from you guys. And I felt kind of bad because at that point we knew that we were pregnant, but I definitely like I could have tried a little bit more to be like, this is previously recorded, this has happened, like, oh, I don't know. I don't know. I think people still shared in my emotions at the time. So people were calling and praying for me, and I was just like, thank you. And I appreciate all the prayers. I know, just really fast, shout out like Ethereal, Trevette, my Phyllis, Dawn. I can't even remember so many text messages I got, but thank you, thank you, thank you. Valerie, Vanessa, like so many people reached out and sent me like these beautiful messages, and I really really appreciate it, especially when we found out we had that. Well, when I found out I had menopause and all of that video, it was literally 2 minutes. and it was a great, it was not that good of experience, but sharing my story, that was a great experience because a lot of people reached out who were going through menopause, and they just wanted to talk and they wanted to share their story as well. So I think I want to do something where it's like some type of community for people who are going through that, because it's hard to talk about, and that was the one thing that I liked. People were happy that I was talking about it and I went through it. And I told them like, I would have not liked to talk about it. It was the Holy Spirit telling me to record. Like, who records right after they get bad news? That was nothing but God. So he knew that it was for somebody else. So I'm a vessel and I listen. But yes, we talked about I'm looking at my notes again. We talked about my first trimester. We talked about Mila and Marley's names and a reaction to my videos. I think that is it. Of course, if you haven't seen my pregnancy announcement video, watch that because it's super good. And then also watch the reaction with me and my husband to finding out that we are having twins, and then finding out we're pregnant and then finding out we're having twins. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye.